So hello and welcome to the video, and welcome to cabin 10181 on the MSC Virtuosa. This is day 6 of a 7-day cruise out of Southampton down to France and Spain. It's a sea day, so it gives me plenty of opportunity to make a video such as this, and as I've been in this room for a few nights now, I've got to know it pretty well, and I think I'm ready to share its features with you. So if that sounds interesting, stick around. Hi, I'm Matt and I love cruising. I love the ships, the places you visit, the entertainment, and every now and again I'll also enjoy a drink. So subscribe to see where I go next and perhaps get some inspiration for your next cruise. So as usual, where was my cabin? As usual, I found a cabin close but not immediately next to the elevators. Deck 10 was relatively low on the ship, but cabins higher than this were being sold at a premium, which I didn't feel was a necessary investment, and the cabin I chose worked out very nicely. So into the room, and you can see straight away that it's a traditional configuration with a bed and a sofa. You come in, you have the air conditioning controls, a bit warm actually, so let's cool it down. A pretty handy DND and make up your room button to communicate with your room attendant. There's also a little red light outside the room which shows up when your key card is in the slot. So you don't really need the do not disturb, because when the room attendant knows you're in by having this card in the slot, he'll know to leave you alone. Obviously everything goes off if you don't put it in this slot, but I did find that things will still charge using the electric sockets even if you're out of your room and the card is not present. So a sofa which is actually quite comfortable. It's not made of rocks or of concrete, and I've actually spent quite a few minutes sitting on it, which is perhaps a first for a cruise that I've been on recently. Spin around and you've got everyone's favourite penguin, but you've got quite a decent space here for your accumulated rubbish. Tea and coffee making facilities, because this is a cruise that leaves from the United Kingdom and there must be some nautical law somewhere that states that they must offer tea and coffee. I imagine there's a room downstairs that is absolutely wall to wall filled with kettles when this ship goes on itineraries that don't start in the UK, under which is a mini bar with extortionately priced stuff. Actually not even looked in here yet this cruise, because really don't see why I would pay for something out of a minibar when I could walk 20 paces to a bar and get something there for free as part of my drinks package. Water is included in the drinks package on this cruise line, but they tend to give it to you in massive glass bottles, which is perhaps a little odd and unusual. Charging is European and American sockets, but there's also some USB ports over here. And this thing is a Bluetooth speaker with which you can attach your phone to play your music in the room. It took me quite some time to get it to work, but I did get it to work, and it's quite good. It's quite nice to be able to play your tunes and boogie around the room a little bit while you're getting ready. Underneath, some drawers. Again, not really use these, but a hairdryer, not something I worry too much about these days, but plenty of space there. And another idiosyncrasy of MSC cruises is that you'll find 2 pool towels in your room. You can swap them at any time, and if they look soiled when you bring them back to your room, your cabin attendant will swap them for you for fresh ones, but it is something you do need to remember to take to the pool if it's not chucking it down with rain, as it has been on some of this cruise. Above all of this is an absolutely fantastic television, probably better than the television I've got at home, to be honest with you. Most UK channels on here, lots and lots and lots of MSC channels, but I rarely get past the BBC, to be honest with you, and I don't usually put the TV on much at all when I'm in the cabin, but yeah, it's a good one if you do want to watch it. After I'd filmed this, I realised I'd overlooked this interesting nested stool set. So here's the cabin's interesting nested stool set. To the bed, 2 singles pushed together as is usual. you'll note it's not got a rounded edge, so it is a little shorter than some of the beds I've had on cruise ships, and I do find myself needing to sleep on the diagonal to fit in. There is a join that you can feel, which hasn't really been a problem, but it's something to pay attention to if you are looking to cruise in this sort of cabin. And then you won't be able to see it, but beside the bed, tucked away up under here, is a USB port again, so you can charge your device or plug in your sleep apnea device, as is more and more common these days, right next to the bed without having to string cables all the way across from one side to the other. Interesting art. Not sure I'd have that in my house, but there you go. And then the wardrobe. Pretty standard cruise fare, really. Some shelves and some drawers down here, little mini safe tucked away back there, and then some hanging space, which is pretty adequate, I'd say, for a week with two of you. If there were more than two of you in here and longer than a week, you might find it a bit constricting, but hey, it is what it is. Round to the bathroom, and as usual, if you look at the distance between here and the door, you perhaps don't expect the bathroom to be very big, and it isn't. It's one of the smaller bathrooms I've had on a cruise ship. You still get everything that you need. It's just all the things are a little closer together than you might perhaps choose. No drawers in the bathroom, as seems to be standard on cruise ships. Some storage space up here, which is fairly handy. And then the shower. It's a shower, really. Good water pressure, good temperature. Two dispensers of shampoo and shower gel if you're not too fussy about bringing your own stuff. There's a leg raising device should you need to raise your leg when you're in the shower, and a solid shower door rather than one of those fabric ones that clings to you, and it's been pretty good, to be honest with you. Not a lot else to say. One particularly quirky thing I found is this little shopping line thing here is just not quite long enough. There you go, you can see it better. Just not quite long enough. I was able to get it in, but it took a bit of brute force, and I was worried that I would break something, either something of mine or something of the ship. But you can make it work if you need to, but it's just a bit odd. And finally, as some of you who've been following my cruise experiences this summer will know, I went on 2 cruises in inside cabins, mainly to save money but also for the experience, and the result of having saved a bit of money is that this cruise I get my own balcony, and it's a balcony. It's not biggest you're ever going to come across. 2 seats and a bit of a footrest / table. As I said, not a lot of space, but it gives you access to the great outdoors, which is very pleasant and a nice thing to have if you're going to be cruising with a couple of sea days where there isn't ports to run around in. So there you go, that's my cabin. The ship is only about a year old, and I think you can tell from the design decisions that they have taken that they really have paid attention to what customers need in this modern world by providing plenty of connectivity, a good TV, and a very, very pleasant space to spend your cruise time. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like this video if you did. Please leave me a comment. Have you ever sailed with MSC? Would you be interested to, having watched this video? Please subscribe if you're new, and if you'd like to support what I'm doing on this channel more directly, I have a Patreon page, the link to which is in the description below. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.